I've been with Americo now for about a year and a half. Been working with FFL now for just a couple months, but stepping in as lead account executive, your guys' rep, May 1st. So I've been with you guys now. You guys are all mine now for a month. So very excited about it. I previously before I came to Americo, I was an agent, so I've been in your guys' shoes, and I love being able to have conversations with agents. I know the struggles, I know the frustrations, so I love being able to be kind of your guys' bridge from an agent to a carrier perspective, and then from a carrier to an agent perspective. So I'm really excited about this relationship and partnership that we're going to really be able to grow and just like blow the top off of this. Like I'm ready. I am ready to go to that next level. So, and I'm going to be taking you guys with me. So what I wanted to do today is go over just a little bit of our products. I know you guys write a lot of Americo, so I know that you guys are familiar with our products, but I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of some additional resources that we have built for you guys as FFL agents. It's specific, only FFL agents are able to have access to this. So I definitely want you guys to know about it. And so what I'm going to do is let me see here. Am I able to share my screen?
You should be able to, Lindsay. Is it not allowing you to?
Let me see here. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I just allowed it. Let me say.
Let's see.
Okay. You should be all set now.
Ah, perfect. There we are. Let me make sure I get the right one. All right. So this is the website that I wanted to show you guys. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the ffl.americo.com website. There's everything that you guys are going to need to have regarding products, training, our final expense, the IUL, the term, annuities, everything right there. It's going to be right here at this website. Also access to the portal, access to agent tools, everything. But a couple of other things I definitely want you guys to know about, because I know not everybody is in like an office setting. So if you're working at home, if you're working on the road, wherever you are, you may have questions regarding health questions or height and weight charts, things like that. I know when I was an agent, I loved having those questions right next to me, or the height and weight chart. So that's always something that we want you guys to have access to. And I don't know if you saw where I clicked. I just clicked on the final expense. You come here, you click on the quick reference. This is going to give you a breakdown of our Eagle Premier final expense policy. Okay, this is something that you're going to be able to download. You can print off everything right here. You can see, plus it's also going to have that height and weight build chart right there for you. So simple and easy. You never have to question again if somebody is going to be in the parameters or not. So super simple and easy right there for you guys. The other thing that you're going to be able to have with our final expense, if that is your cup of tea, one thing you're going to know, especially with Americo, we are simple, fast, and easy. So it's going to be our simplified issue products. Everything is going to be found on the e-application. I don't know if anybody has, hopefully somebody has wrote an Americo. Has anyone done an Americo today yet? Okay. Did
Yes.
the IVR verification, did that pop up today on the application?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys are unaware yet of what that is doing actually, and how that is so great for you guys as agents, before, what it would do when you're in the application, we would always do the prescription check and the MIB check up front, that always be ran, and you'd get that big, pretty green box that says continue on. You go through the health questions, everything's great, and you get to the banking information, they give you their information, and then it says unable to validate, right? And you're like, what is this? It's not working. So when that happens, before, it could have been a number of things. It could have been the name was wrong, the social was wrong, the date of birth was wrong. It could have been something along all of those areas, or it could have been a bad routing or account number. We had no idea what it was. It could have been a number of things, right? And then we find out it's a name spelling or it's the social, and then you have to resubmit to be reissued, and then we don't really know if they would be approved, right? Because if you change a date of birth or a social, it changes the MIB, everything. So that IVR at the very beginning, what that is doing is it is validating that the name, the date of birth, and the social is all correct. So we are now eliminating that possibility of when we get to the banking now, if it comes back that it's unable to validate, it's because it's a routing or an account number. Like it's seriously like a bank issue. Okay. It's still going to let you do the 3 times to go through. It'll still let you go through it. But now this way it is like we are getting full, like serious MIB and prescription checks on the people that we're writing. So make sure you guys are seeing that, and I think that's going to be huge from an agent's perspective. Like if something happens, like when you get to the banking, we know it's banking, right?
Exactly. That's huge right there, Lindsay. I just wanted to pause you. So guys, like the only reason that that's not going to validate, Lindsay, correct me if I'm wrong, is if the routing and account number are incorrect. If you got to that point, it's the bank information. Again, you'll have the 3 attempts. If not, they're just probably not providing the proper information.
Yep.
Got it. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Thanks.
Absolutely. And there's only one other reason if it doesn't validate it. It's because, and I had this issue happen. It was a husband and wife, and the wife actually was not on the bank account. So you would just have to make sure that it's a different payor. So that would be the only other reason. So
that makes complete sense.
Yeah. So love that has gone live now. So that is for you guys. Again, we want to make our processes as simple, fast, and easy for you guys as an agent, as well as your clients. So that's in force right now. And then, with our final expense, you're going to be able to use our text signature, which everybody loves doing the texting. A couple things that we definitely want to make sure of that we've had to have conversations with. When it comes to the texting signature, the very first text code as well as the last text code, we really want to make sure that that text code is going to the client. And the reason behind that, especially that first one, that text code is what is giving us permission to run that client's MIB and prescription check. So it's kind of like their credits. It's not a credit score, but it's like a credit score, right? So we want to make sure that we do have their authorization that yes, you guys have my permission. We can run that. It's great. It's fine. They agree to it. And so we just want to make sure that the clients are the ones that's giving us that permission. We're not sending it to any other agents or, we're not sending that text code to ourselves, and we're not signing. So just always making sure that goes to the clients, and we're good to go. And with
absolutely. And Lindsay, I just have to quickly piggyback off that. Guys, I know we spoke briefly about all carriers last week and how we never sign for anybody. Just like Lindsay's saying, like, it's just, it's a never thing. Like if Miss Susie cannot find the text code, then unfortunately we can't help Miss Susie with that product, and we have to move on. So just please guys, let's not find ourselves in that type of situation ever. It's never okay. So thank you, Lindsay, for honing in on that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And get it. I get it. Like I remember when I was an agent, I'd have agents be like, they can't get it. Like they're giving me their verbal authorization. They're telling me I know, but we can't. we can't. I wish we could, but we can't. So love it. final expense, you guys know that is going to be our Eagle Premier or the Eagle Guaranteed. It's going to be the whole life policy that they're going to be able to have, level guaranteed premium, so their premiums are never going to increase when they get that thing put in place. Also, some things that kind of separate our final expense from maybe some other carriers is we're going to be able to start as low as 5,000 face amount and we go up to 40,000. But some other great things with our policy is that your client, if they qualify for that Eagle Premier, they are automatically, it doesn't matter what the face amount is, but they're automatically getting an accidental death, which is a double indemnity. So they pass away due to an accident, it's going to double, the face amount will double. It also has the common carrier. Now, this one's very special because no other carrier has this, where if the client were to pass away due to an accident and they're a passenger on a common carrier, so think like bus, plane, train, cruise ship, anything they purchase a ticket for, it's going to triple. So there's a triple indemnity with that. And then we also have that terminal accelerated benefit as well. So doesn't matter what the face amount is. If they qualify for that Eagle Premier, they're getting all three of those benefits at no additional cost. It's automatically built into their policy. So little extra benefit for the clients right there. Also, we've got that quit smoking advantage for all of your tobacco user clients. They're going to get the first 3 years at a non-tobacco rate. And then at the end of those 3 years, they can decide whether or not they want to keep the premium the same if they haven't quit smoking. If they quit smoking, it stays the non-tobacco rates for the life of the policy. So if they don't quit smoking, they can choose whether or not to keep the premium the same, but then the face amount is going to lower down to what a tobacco rate would be, or they can keep the face amount the same, but then the premium would increase to what a tobacco rate would be. So that's definitely something that's great for your tobacco clients, especially if they already know that they're trying to quit smoking. Like, absolutely get that non-tobacco rate, lock that in. And then also something else that's for you guys as agents, if you ever want to know like look back period questions, like you may have a question on a health question or a health condition. Here's the health questions. Again, when I was an agent, I loved printing this off and having it for me right where I could see it. You're doing that health assessment. You've done the financial assessment. You're looking at their health assessment now. You're doing a little bit of field underwriting with them. You find out that Mr. Jones, he goes, I had a heart attack back in I had a heart attack back in 2022. Okay, well, let's look real quick. Well, Americo, we only look back 12 months for a heart attack. Okay, so we're good to go, right? It's really very easy just to see right here because you guys know with Americo, there's no gray area with our health questions. It's either yes or no. And there's no gray areas. So it's great for you guys to be able to have that at your disposal and access right there as well for you. And then again, on that ffl.americo website, we've got our training videos. So if you want to know more about specifically the Eagle Premier, you can go right here. William has done an amazing job with the training and the training channel. We've got our brand new IUL, which if you guys qualified for that additional $500 bonus with the IUL, we are solidifying and we are sending out checks next week. So very excited that you guys are getting some cash and some bonus. And the other thing that's happening next week, obviously tomorrow we got you first bonus rewards that are going out. I know I've seen names that I can see right here on that list. So I am so excited. I'm going to tell Jeremy I'm going to do a little drop at the Ignite conference on just how much we are paying out just in this qualifying period to FFL agents. Everyone thought over 3 million last year was a lot. They have no idea what we're looking at this year. So it's great. I am so excited. But with our IUL, I definitely want to touch base on our IUL. If you are a new agent, or maybe if you're not a new agent, but you've never done IULs before, they may have kind of been like, oh, there's a lot with IULs. Like it's completely different than like a term policy or a final expense. They're very different. And you've been like, I don't know if I feel confident or comfortable trying to explain these with guarantees, non-guarantees, S&P, like, I don't know. This is the one that you want to start with, okay? Our IUL has been designed for the clients to have more emphasis and more geared towards the life insurance protection side of it, okay? It is not a super aggressive investment vehicle, okay? That is not how ours is designed. If that's what your client is looking for, I know that there are several other carriers out there that do have that kind of IUL specific for them. And that's going to be the fit for those clients. But if you're looking for a client that really wants to make sure that they have an opportunity to have permanent protection with the opportunity to build some cash value and have some supplemental income, this is where we want to start. Okay, you're going to be able to offer this to your clients anywhere from as low as 18 years old up to the age of 75. And it can start as low as 25,000 going up to 450,000. So this is going to be very simple based IUL. You're going to have two different target as far as like interest crediting with our point to point or the point to point with a cap. So those are going to be those two. It's all based off of the S&P 500. What's also really great about our IUL is when it comes to creating the illustration, everything is done right there in the application. I love how easy and simple it is that as you're going through the illustration with the client, that is something that is required with all IULs. They have to have that illustration. But what we've made it very simple for you guys as agents is that when you go into your agent tools and you start that illustration, once you click Start eApp, that illustration goes right into the application. You don't have to upload something else or change any, there's not any other places you have to go. It's all right there. And again, you're going to get that instant decision with your clients. So nothing that we do as far as our IUL, our term series, or our final expense, we don't do the fully underwritten because we want to make sure that you and your clients, they have that instant decision with their applications. I remember back in the day with doing fully underwritten policies, it could be 3-4 weeks before you get a decision. And by the time you finally get that decision that they were approved, you call up and say, hey, great, guess what? You're approved. And I'm like, oh, well, I already got another policy. They were able to, I just talked to someone 2 days ago and I was approved right there. So I don't need that one anymore. And you're like, are you kidding me? So we want to make sure that that does not happen to you guys. So that is why I love our instant decision. Like instantly, and your clients know. And then also with that instant decision, we have our e-app or the e-delivery, which is huge for your clients, especially for clients that are in any of those states that require a delivery receipt. If they use the e-delivery and they get their policy within like 20 minutes after they've been approved, actually, I think it's even faster than that. They have their policy in their inbox by the time you are doing your wrap up script, solidifying everything, giving, phone numbers, everything like that, their policy is in their inbox. And if they're in like Pennsylvania, as soon as they open their policy, that solidifies the policy delivery receipt. So no more, requirements, outstanding requirements for that. It's so simple, it's so easy. The other thing that's really great, especially with the e-delivery, is if they ever need to send information to Americo, or if they ever request information from Americo, that gives us the ability to email it to them, because we know it's an email that goes to the client. So a lot of times if we don't have an email on file, it's really hard for us to send any kind of information to the client because we don't know that that's the client that it's going to. It's not the address that's on the application. So even if they're not selecting e-delivery, put it on the application, because if it's on there, it's good to go for us. So IUL, going back to, I'm kind of jumping around, but with the IUL, again, up to 450,000, you know, we do the S&P 500 point to point with that participation rate, which we are up to an 86% with that participation rate. And then we also have that point to point with a cap, and we're at a 15.25% with that point to point with a cap. And so it's probably some of the higher rates and everything that we'll see with this specific type of IUL. And you know, if you have questions, and there we go. Yeah, so there's the current rates, guaranteed minimum rates are going to be there as well. And then of course with our IUL, along with so many of our other term products that we have on our portfolio, your client they're getting those living benefits. So critical, chronic, terminal, everything's going to be right there for your clients. You know, we really designed our IUL based off of what you guys wanted to see in an IUL. So I love the partnership that we have with you guys, that all of our products, we design it from what you guys hear and what we need, or your clients are needing.
And
then also, if
Lindsay,
you,
real
Oh, yeah.
quick, I'm sorry, just while we're on the IUL, first of all, guys, for anyone that's newer on this call, I was one of those people, Lindsay. I was like, I don't want to go near the IUL. I just want to write term and whole life, because like, what happens if this happens? And the thing is, guys, Americo has made this so easy that when you plug it in and look at the illustration, it is just dead centered in your face. Like, it's very hard to make a mistake, so to say, at that point. So they've made it completely easy. Also, just like states like Pennsylvania, like the e-receipt, that is a huge thing because it prevents a lot of fall off. And I really just wanted to quickly ask you this, because to be honest, Lindsay, I'm not sure. And I just figured, you know what, what's a better place to ask than now? Let's just say we have a client that, you know, signs up for an IUL and he's 50 years old. He turns 70 years old. Is he ever going to have a different cost of insurance after that 20 years, or till the age, whatever comes first?
Yeah, so actually cost of insurance goes up every year. So his cost of his insurance goes up every year. And it's, I mean, it's kind of morbid to say, but every year that we're alive, we get closer to dying, right? So our cost of insurance goes up. So even after the you know, once he turns 70, his cost of insurance is going to continue going up. But what it's going to be able to do now is that no lapse guarantee for the 20 years, that is guaranteeing that if the S&P 500 does absolutely nothing for 20 years, let's say it's negative or it's at zero for 20 years straight, there's no growth, there's enough compound interest from his premiums that he's paying to keep that IUL alive for the 20 years. Okay, even with the cost going up, there is enough in there. Now, the likelihood of the S&P 500 staying at zero or being negative for 20 years straight, very unlikely, but we don't know. But the likelihood of that happening is very slim, but we can't guarantee that it won't, right? So it is going to grow, because it's going to go up, it's going to go down, up and down. The great thing with our IUL is that the client only participate when it's positive, okay? So they cannot lose anything, okay? So with that no lapse guarantee, he's 70, and maybe and maybe his, let's say his premium is $300, okay? Cost of insurance is now like let's just make it easy, $150. Okay, so for the 20 years, that 150, that has been able to sustain the cost of insurance while it's been building. But now as he's getting older, cost of insurance is now like 160, 170, 180, 190, it's going up. And so now that $300 premium is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, to where it's no longer going to be able to cover the cost of insurance plus that compound interest from it. So how it grows is that everything from S&P 500, everything that's that compound interest, that cash value is growing. And so it offsets that cost of insurance to how it's still going to be able to grow based off what that S&P 500 is doing.
Beautiful. That makes complete sense.
Okay. And Marissa, I was the same way. Like when I saw this, I was like, I have never done IULs. Like, I don't know anything about stocks. Like I thought it was this big investment thing. I was like, I don't want to touch it. No, but it is like, if you are brand new or if you're not new, but you haven't done IULs, this really is the most simple IUL you will find. It's a great one to start with, get your feet wet, get comfortable with them. And then little drop of information, the big question has always been, when would a client be able to like max fund, right? And kind of become a little bit more aggressive with an investment part of it. It's coming. But we wanted to start off with a very solid foundation for you guys. We knew that this was going to take off, and we wanted to make sure that not just experienced IUL agents would write it, but also the brand new ones. So
Well, you
we're
guys hit it
always-
on the head. So
yes.
thank you.
Yes, so we are always looking for ways that we're going to be able to continue bettering our products for you guys. And the other great thing, if there's anyone in the group that does any annuities or anything like that, you can also find all of our rates, what our current rates are right here. And this is going to show you, there's the IUL right here, the point to point, the declared accounts right here. Also, our fixed annuity rates, the MIGA, everything. You are going to always be able to find the most current rates. Like, yep, these came out today. These rates came out today. So you are always going to be able to see everything with our rates right here with you guys for your clients. So always a great thing to be able to have right there for you, for your clients. Also, we've got client brochures. You've got a client that wants information. Here's the brochure, very simple and easy. You can download it, print it, email it. You can also order them, so you have them in the office for you guys as well. CBO, continuation, all of our term products. This is part of our HMS. It's our home mortgage protection series. Americo, even though it says home mortgage, your clients do not have to have a mortgage to qualify for these products, okay? So anything in the HMS series, that's going to be our traditional term, CBO, continuation, decreasing, all of those things, they do not have to have a mortgage, but this is going to be a great option for your clients, if they are looking for that CBO. CBO stands for cashback option. So you're going to be able to offer them two different types of a CBO product with that CBO 100 or the CBO 50. At the end of the term year with the CBO 100, they get 100% of their premiums back. At the end of the term year on the CBO 50, they get 50% of their premiums back. Either way is great. I personally have it, and one way that the reason I got it is because at the end of my 30 year, I'll be 62 when I got it. I'm going to take all those premiums back and I'm going to roll that over and put that bad boy in an annuity. That's my plan.
That's a solid plan.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's there. I'm not needing it right now. I'm just going to continue letting my money work for me and let my money make me money. So it's a great way to, to bring something up when you're talking to your clients, asking them, what do you want your policy to do for you? Are you looking for ways to supplement income as you get closer to retirement, the death benefit? What do you want? So this is a great opportunity and a option for clients in that kind of situation. Plus it also helps because then they'll be your client 30 years from now too, retaining, right?
Good call.
And then the other thing I was going to mention with our CBO, any of our continuation or term series, the underwriting is going to be identical to the IUL. So it is the exact same underwriting, the exact same process. Everything is going to be exactly the same. The only thing that is different between the IUL and any of the term products is that illustration. It's going to be the only thing that's different for you guys.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And this was extremely helpful for me, even in terms of just like a refresher. And then the IUL information, that's invaluable. The way it was rolled out was just crazy helpful. So I'm excited to see kind of the different features, but I know, hey, now I'm really comfortable with it. So probably a heck of a lot more agents, like you guys said, with your goal. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your partnership. But aside from that, does anybody have any questions that Lindsay hasn't answered? Please feel free to unmute yourself.
Lindsay,
Lindsay, I have a quick question if you don't mind.
Sure.
Regarding the IUL, let's say the family in that instance, they took out their cash value before, the 20-year mark. In the 20-year last period, they're keeping it as is. But then let's say year 15, they took out majority of it, like majority of their compounding interest. When that no lapse protection period finishes, what happens to their premium and what happens to their benefit? Does anything occur at that point in time because the compounding interest can no longer maintain the increasing cost of insurance? Like, how can we kind of relay it to the client or kind of pivot and help that situation if that did occur down the line?
Yeah, if that occurred, then the premium, they would see an increase in the premium. The premium would have to go up to be able to keep it alive and to keep it going. Otherwise, it would run out, right? The other thing that clients are able to do is they're able, at that point, they would be able to pay it back. They could put the money back into it if they ever took any kind of a loan. So that there's two different things they could do. They could either do a loan or a withdraw. So loans, they're able to pay it back. Withdraws, they don't have to pay it back. It's like going and withdrawing money from your bank account, right? You don't have to pay that back. It's yours. So depending on whichever one the client wants to do at that time, if it's a loan, they would pay it back. If it's a withdrawal, then they would just keep it. And then at that time, they probably would start to see that premium have to go up a little bit because there's nothing there to replenish what was taken.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And what's also great with that is if you do ever have a client that either wants to change their premium or they want to change their face or anything like that, the great thing about with Americo is when they call into our client services team, the client services team, that team down there, they know this IUL. They know the IUL, and they are going to walk everything through with the client of what's going to happen, how it's going to change the illustration, how it's going to change that no lapse guarantee. They are going to be able to walk them through all of that. And so that's a great resource for you guys to be able to use with that team that's there for your clients.
Absolutely.
so much,
That's
Lindsay.
huge.
Lindsay, could you explain the bonus for new agents? How
I
that?
sure can.
Thank you.
I would love to. Okay, so right now we are actually finishing up our You First Rewards bonus. So this is a qualifying period. We do it twice a year. It's based on a 6-month qualifying period. So this one that's ending it's ending tomorrow. Oh, actually, no, today. Is today the last day?
Technically tomorrow will be the 31st.
The 31st. Okay. So it's ending tomorrow. And it started back on December 1st, and it's running to the end of May. So what you're going to be able to do and how you qualify for You First Rewards bonus is that we are going to pay you, the agent, a 10% bonus on your production during those 6 months. And it's all based off of the annualized premium from your policies. There are some qualifying parameters in order to qualify. So the very first one is you have to hit 50,000 You First credits or 50,000 annualized premium. It could be with any of the products, the IUL, final expense, any of the term products, doesn't matter. They all qualify for it. But the very first parameter that you want to make sure that you qualify is that premium applied ratio. Has to be at least 70% or better. And what that really means is for any policy that is issued, we've approved it, it's been issued, at least 70% of your clients make that first premium, and that policy stays on the book past the free look stage or 30 days. Okay, so that's what going to be your premium applied ratio. The next one is going to be a 6-month persistency, and this has got to be at an 85% or better. So any policies that are at least hitting that 6-month mark, we want to make sure that at least 85% of them are still on the books. And then we also have that 12-month persistency that we're looking at. And that one's gonna have to be at 70% as well. So think of like 70% premium applied, 85% 6-month, 70% 12-month. So those are the qualifying parameters for that UFirst. And if you're able to hit all of those, plus the 50,000 UFirst credits, I mean, that's a minimum $5,000 check, like minimum. The other great thing is that there's absolutely no cap. We have several 6-figure checks that's going to be going out. So it's amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot even imagine getting a check this big. But we love being able to do this for you guys. And so if you are a brand new agent and maybe you're thinking, well, I haven't even been an agent for 6 months, or I haven't been an agent for 12 months. How do I don't have that kind of persistency yet. How can I even qualify? If you haven't been an agent for that long, then we don't take that into consideration. Okay. We will look at your premium applied ratio. We'll look at that. So that's got to be at least at 70%. But we are going to look at, what kind of, what does your business look like so far? Does it look like everything's going good? And, if you're writing, if you're a brand new agent and you've got like 70,000 UFirst credits, we're going to look at it and be like, oh my goodness, this is a rock star agent. Like, we're going to pay you because we want that. That's great. So don't think that just because you haven't been here for 12 months or 6 months that you can't qualify. You absolutely can. And also if you didn't hit it this month or this qualifying period, guess what? We start over on Saturday. It's a brand new period starting right out the gate. You're going to be going to you're going to be going to Ignite conference. You're going to be getting a lot of sales tips and tricks and training and everything that you're going to be able to hit the ground running going for that next qualifying period. And that means it's going to be ending at the end of November, right around Christmas. I mean, I definitely could use a couple grand right around Christmas. So
Best time of the year to get that bonus, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
So super excited. Just like Lindsay said, if you're on this call, you're brand new, don't count yourself out, actually count yourself in and, go all in with Americo. I love Americo, so I'm not too scared to say that on this call.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the bonus is amazing, guys. Each and every year that we see it get paid out, Lindsay, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just like more and more and more. And it's amazing to see. It's like, it's a blessing, and it's like, wow, is this real? And it's like, absolutely. So it's just awesome to see more and more agents getting that bonus, each and every qualifying period.